Hey there, friends and enemies, Jopie here again, and we are just a few weeks away from the pre-release of Avatar and Magic the Gathering, and we've been getting some cards previewed that look somewhat interesting in my opinion, and we'll get the full set released this upcoming week as well. So I wanted to get the general temperature of everybody, see how folks are feeling about the set as it stands and Magic in general. I know there's been some frustration based on the reaction to the Spider-Man set, which was largely underwhelming for a lot of people. We also got the roadmap for 2026, and a lot of people are frustrated about that as well. So does that take away your desire to jump into Avatar, whether it's pre-release or just buying the set in general? Are there cards you've seen so far that are exciting to you? And is this a set that you are going to purchase or you're going to skip? I'd love to hear from everybody. I'm not as interested in Avatar as I am other Universes Beyond sets. I'm not somebody who necessarily dislikes Universes Beyond, but for me personally, I'm more excited about something like Final Fantasy, Lord of the Rings than I am Avatar, and that's just because I don't have as much ties to the IP of Avatar the Last Airbender, so that's just kind of a personal thing. I know a lot of people love it, so I wouldn't be surprised if this one does fairly well. Plus, I think thematically it fits a little bit better. But at the end of the day, I do think a big part of it is how strong these cards are, how well they perform, because I think one of the big problems with Spider-Man, not only the modern environment, the modern designs, and Bagel and Schmear, all that kind of stuff you've heard about, but also if it had released and looked the exact same, but it had a ton of really powerful cards, I think the reception would have been a little bit different. Or if it would have played much better in the draft format, because it just didn't really do all that well for a variety of reasons. And so I do think there are a multitude of factors. If Avatar has some cards that are insanely cracked, then you are likely to see people jump in and play with the cards, or at least add them to your commander deck, to your standard deck, whatever the case may be. So anyway, some of the cards we got recently, that we got the Valakut, the Molten Pinnacle, as a special guest card for Volcano of Roku's Island. This land enters tapped whenever a mountain you control enters. If you control these 5 other mountains, you may have this land deal 3 damage to any target and add a mountain. So I do, or add red mana. So I do think that card is pretty solid for a special guest card, and always bringing back lands makes a lot of sense, because I think they are insanely valuable. They're something you can use. If you have a red deck, you can probably use that card. So I think that's something that will probably be well received. Sozin's Comet, though, each creature you control gains Firebending 5 until end of turn. Whenever it attacks, add 5 mana. This mana lasts until the end of combat. Now, this could be insane, to be honest. Like, if you got, like, I imagine you have a horde of, like, goblins, for example, and you attack with all of them, and they all generate 5 mana. And then you use that to cast, like, a fireball or something insane. Obviously, there's a lot of better options than that. That was just the first one off the top of my head. But I just think there's a lot of potential for that. It also has Foretell, for a 2 colorless and a red. During your turn, you may pay 2 mana, 2 colorless, and exile this card from your hand face down. Cast it on a later turn for its Foretell cost. So this is when you can set it and forget it and just have a ton of mana. I think this could be really, really strong. I like this middle art here as well. This is my favorite one. I'm not really as much of a fan of this one, but this one right here I think looks really, really cool. So we'll see. They teased Legendary Creature Wall, which looks like it's going to be the Wall of Ba Sing Se, which is kind of insane. But yeah, a lot of these cards could be very, very good. I do think there is the potential. Like Redirect Lightning, I think could be very, very valuable. Firelord Zuko is my favorite creature that they've revealed so far, just as far as like the actual gameplay mechanics goes. And then we've got some other pretty good options. I'm probably going to end up picking up some of these cards for like my wife because she does want Appa and some of the other creatures that are here. We will probably not get Heartless Act for her because I don't think she's going to enjoy that very much. But yeah, overall, I think this is one of those sets that a lot of how it performs is going to be dependent upon how strong and usable it is. If it has a lot of cards that really intertwine well with pre-existing decks or essentially upgrade decks that are currently in, like we saw it with Final Fantasy, right? You have a card like Vivi in that set, and it's absolutely bonkers across multiple formats. It's going to lead to people chasing that card. And that's just the reality. I know a lot of people are not, again, going to be super thrilled with Universes Beyond. But at the end of the day, it's here to stay, I think. It's not going anywhere. And you just kind of have to make the best of it. Or you can try to set up house rules where there are no Universes Beyond cards used. You can maybe get some alters or some proxies that have the same cards but with the different different in-universe art, something like that. Now, obviously, that would mean they would not be like tournament legal or anything like that. But if it works in your pod, then I think that's the way to go. Anyway, I'd love to hear from everybody else what people are most excited about at this point. I know we don't have the full set as of yet, but I do think there's a lot of potential here. Though I don't know if we know, like we just don't know enough to know what card. Like for example, I didn't expect Spider-Punk to be one of the best cards, in my opinion, in Spider-Man, and it ultimately ended up being so. So there's a lot there that remains up in the air, so I can't wait to see what ends up happening. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like the video, as always, comment, subscribe. I'll cover the set in full once we do have the full release announced, like every card, and I'll go through some of my favorites, so can't wait for that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like the video, as always, comment, subscribe, have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.